What's up, gals and pals? It's your boy Vino Valentino, and welcome back to 60-Second Cocktails. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the YouTube PubCrawl, and I am so excited to have my buddy Georgi from Just Shake and Stir. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello, George. Say hello, guys.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you, and it's so cool to be here.
All right, awesome, man. Georgi is one of my favorite guys. He's I consider him to be one of the great gentlemen of our niche. He is just one of the most, it's one of the most polite men on the in the niche, and always ends with "and I love you," which I think is absolutely great. George, you're a class act, pal. So I'm glad to have you on. All right, George. So you know the rule. Rule number one is, what are you drinking?
Well, I'm gonna change your rule a little bit because I'm a big fan and I'm watching all your series, obviously. Mm-hmm. That's not setup, guys. It's true. All right. I'm
all organic. Yeah. All organic.
All organic. We're all organic here, natural. So everybody just drinking. So today I'm gonna drink something because it's March, which is the biggest celebration in a very close country to me, Ireland. So it's gonna be St. Patrick's Days, and it could be after you see that, or could be before. I don't know yet. But because it's a March, we're gonna drink an Irish cocktail.
Ooh,
so
like
simple as that.
Like that.
It's just to give you a quick idea what we're drinking. It's just basically Jameson. So I'm using a Jameson Stout, mate. Stout edition. I don't know if you ever try it.
No, I haven't. I actually want to try that one.
Yeah. So that's a proper. How to say?
Dark? Is it a dark whiskey?
It's not dark, but it's a stout edition, so it's finished in the craft beer barrels.
Cool.
So stout, here in England, stout, it's a big thing. And I'm not a big beer drinker.
Yeah, I'm not either.
But I love stouts and I love porters and things like a malt beers. It's absolutely fantastic. So we have that, and then it's a very, very funny cocktail because you gotta be very careful. My bar spoons measurements. So basically, guys, you have 45 ml or an ounce and a half of Jameson. Oh, my glasses drop. That's fine.
Again, guys, this is all organic. We didn't plan that either.
Yeah, it's all life. We don't make things here. So then you have maraschino cherry liqueur and dry curacao or Cointreau liqueur, any orange.
That sounds amazing so far.
Have around 4 dashes, or in my case, I like to drop like a bar spoon, yeah?
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go a little bit away to give this my favorite fresh things. If people who watch, they know what I'm doing. So it's usually recommended to be absinthe, but I don't hold absinthe because I'm a big fan of Pernod. Both of them, it's anise, so who cares? It's absolutely fine. And finally, bitters, guys. So originally it's with... I don't remember the bitter which they're using, but I'm gonna use cocoa bitter of Angostura, nice, just 2 dashes. Yeah, and just give it a stir. And that's it, pretty much. Give it a good stir, and then we can start with the interview. Sipping. Yeah.
What's the name of the cocktail? Do you even have a name for it?
Cocktail, I'll tell you straight away. It's called Irish cocktail. As far as
it's just called an Irish cocktail?
I think so, yeah. I think it's very funny, but yeah, Irish cocktail. That's what it's called.
Good. All right. Well, I'm gonna make it a little easier.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have Jameson on the rocks, and that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'll let Georgi shake or stir. That's why he calls himself Shake or Stir, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So we're gonna do.
I'm gonna serve this baby in a lovely Nick and Nora glass. There you go.
To the Irish.
Grab an orange and let's give it a nice orange zest. Now that's the funny part here. You just extract the orange. Yeah, rim the glass. Throw away.
Nice. It's a pretty looking glass. A pretty looking drink.
That's that's my favorite glass, Nick and Nora.
Yeah, mine too.
I think it's one of the best glasses ever created.
It's so versatile. Oh my God, so versatile.
And finally, look at that. Who say only martini? It's garnished with olive. Huh? You garnish this with a nice savory olive. So you have the anise, you have the orange, you have the Irish whiskey, you have the olive.
And there we have it, folks. An Irish drink. Georgi,
absolutely pleasure to have you. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers,
Oh yes,
fantastic.
Oh,
I'll try that. I'm gonna try that drink after we finish the show here.
oh yeah, you gotta try.
So, Georgie, buddy, you know what time it is. After we make our drink, it's time for the fast pour. Ladies and gentlemen, he has 6 questions in 1 minuto.
Bring it on.
Let's get my timer set up here.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right. So, Georgie. First question is, you ready?
I'm absolutely ready. Yeah.
All right. First question, your favorite cocktail?
Rusty Nail.
Rusty Nail. Oh, we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that.
Yeah.
Your favorite spirit?
The favorite spirit should be. I have 3, in fact, but the favorite is a malt whiskey. Any good malt whiskey. Yeah.
Okay. Your favorite hangover food?
Now that's crazy. 2 of them. One of them, guys, it's ice cream because it's available everywhere. The other one, it's a very traditional Bulgarian soup, which we're gonna talk after about it.
All right. You got 30 seconds, brother. Margarita or daiquiri?
Daiquiri.
All right. Rum or tequila?
Oh, definitely rum.
All right. And last but not least, what is your favorite YouTube channel not named 60-second cocktails? You have 10 seconds, Georgie.
10 seconds left. I like Peter McKinnon a lot.
Peter McKinnon. Woo!
Yeah.
Whoa, 5 seconds on the clock, Georgie.
Cheers.
I know Georgie wanted to chat up a little bit on those. And we're going to do that. We're going to follow up on some of that. All right, Georgie? So first
we will.
First thing, the Rusty Nail. George, that is one of my top cocktails. And it's interesting, like so few people drink it.
Yeah, I know.
It's a very old classic cocktail, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's so fantastic.
I was so much thinking today actually to make it to have, and I realized I didn't order any Drambuie because my finish, and I'm like,
mine finished too, and I don't because I use it. I do that often, so I don't have any Drambuie.
I don't understand why people not drinking it.
Especially with the whole, like, I don't know about in Europe, but definitely in the US, and I imagine in Europe too, because there's enough of a connection there. But you had this renaissance of classic vintage cocktails that came back with the craft cocktail scene and everything like that. And the Rusty Nail just really didn't kind of catch that wave, and I'm really surprised by that. That there's not even been like new variations or something, even though it doesn't need to be revised. It's simple and perfect.
I think Vino, I think what is the situation here is because people are not aware of the Drambuie anymore as a spirit.
That's probably part of the problem.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a fade away because I have many people in the bar which I work drink Drambuie on the rocks, or they drink it's a called Glavier, which is very similar to Drambuie. It's another exactly pretty much the same type of liqueur from the same region.
Okay,
but when I ask them, sometimes they drink Rusty Nail if I make them, but people just not aware of Drambuie. That's what is the situation. That's what the problem is.
Yeah,
they don't know what they're missing.
But I think bartenders, we have a huge responsibility though to introduce people to stuff like that too, So, and I think everyone's kind of wants to show off the old fashioned or Negroni or some sort of maybe house drink, whatever, and they forget about some of those cocktails. I love to look at. When I try to think of cocktails, I always try to think of like these kind of mid-century or pre-prohibition cocktails that like people kind of forgot about. They're simple, they're delicious, and the reason they're so great is because they're simple. All of the ingredients kind of stand out. And you really get to taste them all. They don't get lost in the sauce. A lot of times with these really fancy kind of new age shit that people do, it's so much about fusions and all this stuff like that you lose the essence of the actual spirit.
Yeah, I think what it is. I mean, you watch my channel and you see what kind of a cocktails I do on the channel. I'm pretty much very kind of like a simplicity and old school
You're very
stuff.
Traditional. The way I like it. The way I like it.
And the thing is, I know probably it's not appealing to some people, but in my personal opinion, because I'm still working behind the bar, guys, after nearly 25 years now, I've been behind the bar. To this day, I'm still turning people on different drinks, and I'm turning their taste. It's all about the bartender. I mean, I always say, when I teach new bartenders, I always say, when somebody walk in with $5 in a pocket and you make them spend 10 and he say, thank you, end of the night, you've done your job right. That's always my philosophy. When somebody walk in and say, I want a Jameson, I always pretty much 50% of the time sell something apart from just wanting a Jameson, because I take time to explain, show them, and give them a knowledge.
Yeah, listen,
People don't come in the bar because they know what they want. They just want to have a drink.
And there's gonna be people that want what they want, and that's fine. I respect that.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Listen, if I go to a bar and I want an old fashioned, it's my favorite cocktail. That's all I want. But there's plenty of times when I'm watching the bartender, because I always say this, like I watch bartenders when I go to like a nicer establishment, and I look at this guy's kind of the way he works the bar, the way he handles the alcohol. I'm like, this guy knows what he's doing back there. And so I'll tell him, hey, buddy, what do you make? What's your thing? And I'll trust him, give me a recommendation, because everyone has that cocktail or a few maybe even that you're proud of, that you want to show people.
It's all simple. I always say
it is.
I sell lots of old fashioned, and people come for the old fashioned because they know the cocktail. But then I hit them with the question. Yeah, I hit them with the question: do you want it smoked or not smoked? Mm-hmm. There you go. You give them an option.
Oh, even if you tell them what kind of whiskey you want, that sometimes throws them, like, wait, there's more than one. Like, there's
people
like
come
10.
and say, I want martini cocktail. Do you want it dry? Do you want it wet? Do you want it? Do you want with this vodka?
Or when you tell them, or if you have to tell them, do you want gin or vodka? Like that blows people's minds.
Exactly.
It's amazing how many people still don't know that gin is the actual.
No, and the problem these days, it's what we have in the bar industry. I mean, it's really the bar industry, but we still have people who just go to work just to make living, and they don't care. And that's the point when we're losing the customer.
And that experience is really, really important, because it's people are spending, especially in New York where I live, like it's a premium. People are spending a lot of money for alcohol. They're not going into like some regular pub and spending $5 for cheap vodka. They're spending $15 to $20 for a nice cocktail. And if you're not giving them the experience, which is not just chatting them up, it's also kind of explaining them what's in the cocktail, how the cocktail, why does this work and stuff like that. Listen, it doesn't work in every establishment. Some establishments you got to bang it out, right? Bing, 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 bing. You got to get the drink.
Yeah.
But if you have a kind of place where you can sit down and talk to the guy, and man, that's the best. I love to chat up a customer and say, listen,
I always say to any place, I always say, when I go in the bar, if it's just called bar, I'm fine with it. You know me. Mm-hmm. I'll probably have a beer. I may not have a beer, but I'll have a straight drink. Mm-hmm. But if it says cocktail bar,
then it's a whole different ballgame.
You gotta make the effort. Yeah. Come on, you can't put yourself as a cocktail bar and just whatever. Just let's do it.
So Georgie, brother, listen, let's we're talking about you bartending. You say you've been doing it 20 years. Tell me about your background. So first of all, tell us where you're from, Georgie. Where you're from, where you're at, everything.
Originally, I'm from Bulgaria, like a small country. For those of you who doesn't know where it is.
Now, do you know that? Did you know that Tribal Bar guy is from there too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, okay.
No, I know because of the accent. Okay.
See, you guys sound completely different though.
I know.
He sounds Latino, Hispanic.
I know, but I know because of his name, his accent. And soon I've seen him first time and I'm like, this guy, it's a homie. It can be like, he can be somebody else, But yeah, it's different because, I spent a lot of time working on cruise ships and traveling the world. So
okay.
I kind of master my English, let's put it this way. I still have accent, but So background. So I'm from Bulgaria, born in the capital of Bulgaria, Sofia. So this is country between Greece, Turkey, and things like that. If you folks don't know where it is, lovely place. So I start 95 behind the bar. I start a Canadian guy, funny. All right. So Canadian guy came in Bulgaria and opened Tex-Mex, like a restaurant with a live band, music, rock bands, like a smashing place. It was absolutely heaven.
Sounds like a fun place.
Oh yeah, it was. I was loving it there. Like every night, it was work and drink, like us, not just the clients, us as well. We were smashed every night behind the bar. It's just crazy. So I start, like many of other people, start behind the bar to make some living and until they figure out what they want. And then I actually start loving it, and I meet other bartenders, met bartender association members, and start getting to the cocktails, start learning, start experimenting, start going on competitions. Then I win few competitions, and a few years later, I was basically one of the top 6 bartenders in Bulgaria, like 4 or 5 years later.
That's
and
awesome.
Just
That's awesome.
Opening bars, working with people, getting smashed every night, traveling.
Good times.
Whatever you go in the country, everybody knows. It was insane. But why I start this job is because I love talk to people. I love seeing people. I love interaction. It's a hard job, but it's extremely rewarding. So there you go. 20, how many? 95 now, what it is? I don't even count. It's over 20 years.
Yeah, but you said something interesting though, because you said, a lot of guys, they do it initially until they figure out what they want to do with their lives. It's unfortunate that listen, not everyone's cut out for it, but bartending is a career choice. Like it is something you can make a career out of. I think it's challenging in that, of course, there's, if you want to start a family and the hours could be kind of funky and stuff, but you can find a way to work it so that you can do all those things. And on top of that, I think that, listen, the restaurant business is a tough business, right?
It is.
I think that they tend to treat bartenders as disposable. And that's a problem because, I think if not all restaurants, but a lot of restaurants do. I think if you were to kind of like help mold them into like, employees that will stick around, you'd be surprised, man. Guys could stick around for a long time. I know a lot of the waiters that a lot of the bartenders I learned from were guys that, worked there for 100 years, man. They made a life out of it.
Oh yeah. There is a lot like, I'm fortunate enough to know some of the big names and met them and actually being friend with them, like Peter Durelli and which it's many people don't know. We're not gonna go there because it's a totally different conversation. But through my career and in the moment, I'm working for a family business, which is with 5 restaurants and bars. And what you're saying, it's the main problem. It's always in the management. Sorry, I'm saying that, guys, but that's your issue, the management.
100%.
You never kind of learn how to appreciate and how to invest in your people. So in this bar which I work, they call me because they was looking for bartender. And I was kind of I was already on the other side with Just Shake or Steer on Instagram and working with brands and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want to go behind the bar again. I'm getting tired. But I send them email. I say, listen, I'm not going to send you CV. That's my Instagram. Call me if you want. 1 hour later, can you come for interview? I went there. We sit with the guy and I said, before we do the interview, just so you know, I kind of need a job, but I kind of don't because I have. And the guy just said, no, we need you.
Yeah, cool.
And that was then. We had such a good conversation. And since then, I'm enjoying it. They actually, they know what they're investing in.
Yeah. Good.
So they're investing in my knowledge, but that's just me. It not happen to many people. That's the problem.
No, it doesn't.
And they just give up.
And you said, like you said before, a lot of people also aren't passionate about it. They don't. They're not really. So it's to find that bartender that's skilled and passionate and willing to make this a career choice.
You gotta love it.
That's like the perfect employee. That's the perfect bartender.
Like everything in life, you gotta love it. If you don't love it, just don't do it.
Yeah. So Georgie, so when did you decide to start doing the channel? What spurred it? What was like that moment where you're like, I think I'm gonna go on YouTube and cocktails.
I know it was very, very weird because 2018, in the end of 2018, I started Just Shake or Steer on Instagram
so you started on Instagram first?
Yeah, I started on Instagram just for the sake of sharing my love for the trade. For the
before you go on now, for people that don't know, Georgie is also an incredible photographer. So I imagine you were using that as an opportunity to also show off your photography as well, right? Because I'm taking pictures of.
Yeah, I'm graphic design photographer.
Okay.
So basically, I do graphic design, photography, websites, and bartenders. So everything is through my hands, my website, everything. But so I start on Instagram and companies start getting in touch, sending me products and asking me to create things for them and then take pictures and then start rolling. And a year later, I was with 10,000 followers on Instagram in 1 year.
Nice.
And I'm like,
1 year. Wow.
1 year. Yeah, exactly 1 year, 10,000. Second year, 20,000. So I'm making because some people on Instagram have like 80,000 followers for 2 years, but I don't look for these people. I look because my style. I do classic thing. I do things which I believe in. So I look for people who actually believe in that. And in some point when I start the YouTube channel, when everybody starts, 2020, yes, the best year in everybody's life. So bars close. I'm stuck in home with a bar, working for brands, doing pictures, and I'm like, I better start filming these things when I'm doing for Instagram so I can do both in the same time. And I start, and it was like a kind of a, videography for me. It's new.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like photography. It's totally different. Staring in the camera and speaking and feeling confident.
Absolutely.
It's just ridiculous.
Yep. It takes a lot more energy. Because you got to be in the mood. You got to be in the mood. Some days you're not in the mood. You got to still go in front of the camera, man. Because listen, guys. So just to touch on that. So listen, you got it when you're in front of the camera. You got to be complete. You could be wake up in the worst fucking mood in the world, and when you get in front of the camera, all of a sudden like, hey guys, it's me, or hey, it's Georgie. Georgie did for Christmas 25 straight days of cocktails. You can't tell me, Georgie, that there weren't days where you wanted to throw all the bottles on the floor.
Absolutely. Seriously, right? I was
oh my god! Through. And every day he's like, welcome to Shake and Stir, and he's like in a happy mood. I'm like, this motherfucker, he's got to be in a bad mood one of these days. I don't know which one. I'm gonna find out when I interview him. All right, guys. So we had a little technical difficulty there, but we've fixed that up. This is what happens when you go live. So we were talking about Georgie's like disposition and doing 25 days of Christmas, and like the fact that you gotta just in front of the camera being you got to be your best self even though you're not feeling it sometimes.
Yeah, it is. It's I seriously, I didn't know what I was thinking, because doing 5 days, 12 days, maybe it's all right, but 25 days like having a kids, homeschooling, all this kind of stuff going on, and you're like, yeah, I can manage. And you think, I'll just make a cocktail a day, or I'll record 3 at a time and I'll be fine. Man, that was the hardest things. There was a point when I was like, I'm just gonna stop it.
Just say, sorry guys, I thought I could.
I can't cope.
It's funny because so I did 12 days of Drinkmas, which was a play on 12 days of Christmas. And I said to myself, oh man, I don't know if I could. Maybe I'm biting off more than I could chew. And literally the next day I see Georgie announce I'm going to do 25 cocktails. I was like, holy moly, I got humbled so fast. So I knew I had to go through it.
I'm just keep making drink when we're chatting.
Yeah, go for it. And you did 25. You did 25 days straight. I did 4 weekend off, 4 weekend off. So that was pretty epic, man. But I think it was pretty cool to do. Did you see any growth from that? Did you feel like it helped you? Did it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's helped much with subscribers. It did. But not that much, but it's helped with the watching hours.
Okay.
Definitely, because obviously you're uploading every day.
Every day someone's watching a few minutes. Yeah.
So it starts peaking in some point, and it's
Maybe, and the thing is, sometimes what happens with YouTube is like next year you'll start to see a lot of that stuff become search.
Help. And the reason I did it, Vino, is because it's evergreen content, like you said.
Evergreen. That's what we are. We're evergreen.
Next Christmas I may do again 25 days, but I'm gonna already have 25 days, so people can, what I mean. So,
I'm not doing 12 days, so you can. I'm good. I'm doing my normal schedule. So
just
George,
watch me.
George, listen. So talk to us about what it is like. What's the mission of your channel? Like, what's the identity of So if you could tell someone, this is what Shake and Stir is. This is what makes me different from the other guys. Or this is my goal or my mission.
I'm not gonna go to the point I'm different than the other
guys.
That's
what I'm saying. But what's your goal? What is your goal? How do I identify your channel?
Because we are all different, like bartenders or home bartenders. We are totally different personality. And YouTube, it's all about the personality and then the content.
Yeah.
My aim for the channel is I want to do what I did on Instagram, but obviously give it as a video. So people can learn old classic, people can learn simple cocktails, learn mixology, because I'm slowly evolving up. I have planned for things like a molecular mixology, like a science of smoke without using smoke, how to smoke cocktails without using smoke. You know what I mean? Pairing flavor ingredients, for example, how to pair mango with what is pairing, or somebody say, I want mezcal, what can you pair it with? So we start from agave and we go, what can you pair? So all these things, like behind the whole science of mixology, let's put it this way.
That's cool.
And obviously, I do the podcast Behind the Bottle, which I'm trying to involve brands to tell people more about the behind the bottle process, what's happening. And the new one, which I just started, it's cocktail books. So I want to push people to go and buy cocktail books, not because I want you to spend money or I'll make small commission of your affiliates, but because there's nothing better than grab a book. Like you grab a book and you just open and you have everything in front of you and you make the cocktail, and it's different feeling. You can learn so much from this book, not just
yeah, I mean, listen, I have a bunch of cocktail books. I'm a big reader anyway.
Yeah.
The one thing I agree on, you know, with you, and even to add on to that, is that, listen, you can come on YouTube or you can go on the internet, wherever, and get the ingredients for a cocktail, figure out how to make a cocktail, right? You can even get a little history lesson from watching some of us, but the books elaborate so much on whether it's the science, whether it's the history, whether it's the culture, whatever it might be. It really elaborates on that, and it really makes the drink that much more special, or just mixology in general that much more special. I think cocktail books are absolutely essential for anyone that considers themselves a cocktail enthusiast.
It's very simple. You know what I mean? I'm gonna ask people here now, how many times you get your iPad or a phone or whatever, you put in the kitchen and you go to make a mango meat and ginger syrup, for example. You do that, yeah? Because it's easy, or you cook. But how many times you got your computer in front of you to make a cocktail?
Yeah.
It's different when you read. It's different when you see the story. It's different when you kind of feel what is the actual purpose of all this coming from the book, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because tomorrow internet could go off.
Could go away. That's it. Books will always be there. Books will always be there. Yep.
YouTube, Instagram, all this can disappear in a day. So hopefully not, but yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, when I think about your channel, I always think about, you know, you make a lot of very unique cocktails. You do stuff, you know, a lot of stuff. Also, you know, you're being, I guess, being European, your style of cocktail making is very different from what it is in the US. You know, you do a lot more, you know, fortified wines and like things like sherries and creams and stuff, which is not very big in the American palate. But as a cocktail enthusiast, I'm still intrigued with that. I'm like, oh man, that looks really interesting. So if I've made a few of your cocktails, and you know, stuff that I never heard of, and I'm like, oh man, that's delicious. You know,
it is. That's the beauty of the mixology. It's the world is big, and every single country have something different. Something
has, you know, whether even if it's a spirit, you know, one thing you do, one thing you do, I think is very important. I think it's important for anyone in this niche to do, especially you Europeans, though.
Oh yeah.
You guys get a lot of stuff that we don't have, right? It's very local.
Yeah, we are lucky in that. I mean, I think we have such a big choice of.
Yeah, I mean, because
spoiled.
Absolutely, and every country in that area has like their own kind of spirits, you know. So while in the U.S. we can get a lot of stuff in the big cities, like I can probably get anything, you know. But there's all of these kind of, you know, Midwest countries and stuff that don't have the access to that stuff. And so one thing you do very well is you tend to give an alternative. You'll be like, this is like a something. And I think that's important for you European guys, because I think that as a person who loves cocktails, if I'm looking at your show and I'm like, I can't make this guy's cocktails. I don't, you know, that sucks. And I'm gonna like lose my attention. But if you tell me, but try this instead, or this is like a something, that makes a big difference.
I think actually I had few subscribers who are kind of came back to me and say, thank you very much for giving us like a alternative.
It's so, Georgie, it's so important. It
is, because I understand that no everybody can have the same ingredients. And we also I made a cocktail. It's called for Valentine's Day. It's called Old Flame. It's a very old cocktail. And one of my subscribers, he came back to me and say, you see, I like the idea of this cocktail, but my wife, we won't like it. So what should we do? I think I may be changing ingredient. And we have a chat and said, change this and this. Let's see what's happened. Next day, text me again on the cocktail and say, we swapped this and this for this, and my wife loved it. So I had your cocktail, my wife had the new one. And I said, there you go. Now you have the Old Flame and the New Flame cocktail. Now you're mixologist now.
It's funny. I actually made that, I made that cocktail too after watching your show, and I put it up on Instagram and stuff. It was delicious, absolutely delicious.
It's the beauty of the mixology that you can, as far as you're following kind of the base and the palette, and you know, that's why I want to do videos about pairing flavors, because I can make this cocktail, Irish cocktail, to something totally different, and you will still drink it,
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's the idea.
Yeah.
So
If you know, listen, if you know this, I was talking to Tyler about this in our chat. I said it's very important, especially when you're new to, the cocktail industry, to try every spirit on its own. Get a shot glass or something like that, and you have to drink it, taste it, take notes, really understand what the flavors it provides are, what the ABV is. Once you have an idea of what that stuff, then you can start to actually create cocktails. Because this would work well together.
It's like a chef cooking.
Just like a chef. We're chefs, exactly.
Exactly. Every single spirit have their own profile. So you can't just mash things. You know what I mean? No, guys, if anybody think that all of us is perfect, no. If you just, I can't imagine, I don't want to tell you how many cocktails which I create during my career, it went in the sink.
Yeah, you're going to have your duds. But that's you experiment, though. You experiment.
In your head, it's like, oh, that's gonna work fantastic, and you know the flavors, and they just don't work.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? Even that said, George, I've had times where I've said to myself, "This has to work. Why is it not working?" And it turned out it was just the proportions. So sometimes sometimes the flavors just don't work together, but other times it's because you just didn't balance it right.
Yeah.
Needed something else, just one little extra thing. Maybe it's something as simple as club soda or bitters.
That's why classics are classics.
That's why they're classic, man.
They're balanced proper.
They're proven.
I love classics because you can throw dry martini, which is like 100% pure booze.
Yep.
But the way how it's balanced and the genius idea behind it.
Yep.
And you drink and you're like, I can't believe I never gonna drink vodka like that. And you're just drinking it because it's so good.
So George, what is the native spirit of Bulgaria? Like, what's your home spirit?
It's called rakia.
Rakia. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So stay tuned because things gonna come with rakia.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know how available it's worldwide, but I think it's pretty much because Bulgarians they're everywhere. So pretty much wherever Bulgarian live, there will be a Bulgarian shop or somehow.
So I know a lot of Albanians, and they drink a lot of it.
Bulgaria, Serbia, Macedonia, Albania. Is pretty much the drink of the Balkans. Rakia is basically, as you know, a grape brandy. If you ever try grappa.
Yep. Of course, I love grappa.
It's like a grappa, but
I don't find it to be as thick and spirit as syrupy as grappa.
No, the rakia it's more like a spirit orientated. Exactly. You're looking for something between 40 to 50 ABV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not joking there.
Yeah.
And it could be made. Traditionally, it's made from grape. It could be made from apricots, from cherries, from different things like a flavor. But traditionally, it's a grape, like a grape brandy. You
should totally make that stuff because that stuff you can find it here.
Probably
more in the bigger cities like here in New York, but it's something that it's good. Especially I've not had it mixed. I've only had shots of it.
Yeah, that's the thing with it because it's a very specific aromas. They're very strong.
Yeah.
You need to be very careful what you're mixing it with because it's so strong. It's very hard to push it down in a flavor.
Yeah. I think I've had it maybe with wine. That's the only way, like a wine cocktail. That's it.
But it's a strange. But I'm ordering now, so I'm gonna introduce some, and obviously you can try with grappa if you don't have the rakia. But it's basically because I'm looking on YouTube. There's no many cocktails like with grappa.
No, there's not, man. There's not.
There's not many cocktails with what it was I can't remember now. It's a lot of like a traditional drinks from Europe, which kind of doesn't exist on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
those very kind of like moonshine kind of cocktails. Those spirits. I think they're kind of like moonshine. You don't see too many cocktails made with that. Even regular American moonshine, you don't see it. It tends to stand alone on its own because it's so strong.
It is.
Yeah. So Georgi, let me ask you something. So, you've been in this thing for a long time, but, prior to making the cocktails, right, you obviously had a love for cocktails, right? You like to drink, you know how to make cocktails, or not. Did you know how to make cocktails before that? Did you drink before you bartended? Did you drink?
I was one of those, usual teenager guys who just go get smashed because
all right, so you weren't drinking.
That's a funny fact for you now. I lived half of my life in a communism. Yeah. So during the communism, we don't have, like McDonald's or Coca-Cola or things like that. Nobody knows what is that. Like funny, I wear my first jeans when I was 20 years old. We had bananas only on Christmas Eve, like on New Year's Eve. Music, stuff like, I mean, it's just, I always try to explain to people what it's for you, like you take it for granted.
Take it for granted,
normal life for us was like forbidden. We didn't know.
So you were in your 20s when that all came, when you left the communism, or did it collapse?
It collapsed when I was just in the army, just getting out of the army, because army for us in communism was you going in the army.
Yes,
Yes, no.
So this was Russian rule?
Years of your life in army.
This was Russian rule, right? Were you part of Russia?
Like a Mother Russia, yes. So when I went out, life was wild because it was everything crazy. I mean, all these rules went away.
Yeah, like you give it all this freedom. Oh my God.
I mean? And you just go and get smashed. So people start from different country coming, investing, opening bars and doing things, I mean, you see all this new stuff and you're like, what the hell is going on here? So at the beginning, I was like proper just, teenager life after army, going, getting smashed, partying all night. And then I needed a job and I start, my girlfriend at the time was working in this bar and she said, we have a space. Should I speak with the manager? I say, yeah, go for it. And that's how I start. And the rest is just.
All right. So then that brings me to my question then. So seeing that, it was kind of just happened. Do you remember that first time you had a cocktail that made you go, wow, like I love this stuff. Like this is, I get it. Like, what's that aha cocktail for you?
I kind of remember, I don't remember the cocktail. Okay. That was like a long time ago. It's very like but I remember working in this bar, and obviously because it's Tex-Mex, we was smashing tequilas and everything. And then we went slowly knowing other bartenders and people from the trade. So after we finish work, we go in different place. And that's how slowly we start walking around and going in bars and cocktails. So I went in a bar to see a friend and we had some drinks. I seriously, I don't remember what it is, but I realized that me just going out and getting my heads off with like a pure tequila or vodka or stuff like I don't want it anymore. I was like it's something it's something in this glass which I don't understand.
That fascinated you.
I want to know more about it. So it was
such a great feeling, isn't it? Right?
It was like like I don't remember what it was. It could be just like a normal margarita or something, but when you never drink one, first time try, you like excuse me. What is that?
I tell people that I'm like, for people that say that, I don't, I only drink whatever, I only drink beer or whatever. I'm like, try a really good cocktail. Let it, it may not work, it may not hit you, but but it might,
you have to try.
It might. So George, so let me ask you something. So what is your best drinking story? It doesn't have to be a drunk story. I used to ask people like, what's your best drunk story? But what's just a great story you have, a drinking story, whether it's like maybe have meeting someone over drinks or, a drunk story, or maybe like sitting on the beach in the Balkans. I mean, what's the story that you connect with a great drink?
I have, obviously with all these years behind the bar, I have lots of stories.
Oh, I bet, man. I bet.
I drink with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No way!
But that's a different story.
That's awesome, though, man. I drank with Tony Bennett.
I drink, with few Hollywood stars, but I think one story always gonna stay. I don't know why, but do you know Lorenzo Lamas?
Yes.
The Renegade, who played the Renegade. I don't know. He never wasn't like a big Hollywood star.
He was well known.
He was for a moment, but I don't think he ever went. So I was working on a pool bar, like a cocktail pool bar, and he came with a girl, which I actually have pictures somewhere. I need to find it. I'll send it to you. He came with a girl which was part of the Baywatch.
Okay.
actress. So they was filming something in Bulgaria because New Image buy the studios in Bulgaria because we have huge studios. So Arnold, like a Sylvester, everybody coming filming there because it's cheaper.
Cool.
Anyway, this guy came on the bar, and I'm never gonna forget this moment because that is the most genuine, lovely guy I've ever met. He sit on the bar, jeans, t-shirt. You're never gonna say it's like, I'm a Hollywood star.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you drinking? He's like, I like Corona and a margarita. And I say, okay. So I made him Corona and margarita. He started drinking and say, come here. So I went outside. He say, sit. So I sit on his space. And he went behind the bar. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'll make you a cocktail. So he make me
cool,
a margarita
man.
and Corona, serve me. And we basically sit down and drink together. And
that's cool, man.
That was the best ever. I don't know why I'm so impressed of that, but
but it's cool. It's a cool gesture that he thought to make you a drink too, like, you know,
just some kind of a normal Hollywood guy just filming. I'm just gonna make cocktail for it's just.
But you know what? Listen, it doesn't have to be exciting to anybody else. I mean, the fact that it's stuck with you that way is tremendous. You know, I mean, those are the reasons we drink, right? Because of those memories you make from cocktails. You really do. You know, Georgie. So you've been, obviously, again, you know, I keep saying that you've been 20 years. I mean, it's a long time. All right. There's very little that's gotten past you. But everybody has a little bit of a blind spot, right? Like something they're not that good at or great. Maybe there's a certain category of liquor you don't know very well. Like a lot of people I've interviewed have said Scotch is one of the things that they don't know that well. Maybe it's a style of cocktail. Like, what is the one thing that you could say, you know what, honestly, I'm not great at this particular thing?
There is things like that. And I'm actually changing, and I'm glad you're asking because it's happening this month. I think this month, one of the days, it's a Vermouth Day.
Vermouth Day. Oh.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? So, I would think Vermouth is something you knew very well because you love the fortified wines and stuff.
Yes, I do like Vermouth, and I kind of know a little bit more now. But that's something which I'm still
like you want to be better at. You want to be better at.
Yeah, because Vermouths and Amaros. So
Amaros are a blind spot for me, boy. I tell you that.
I discovered them very late in my career. Don't know why, but it's just never working. You know, in Europe, when you work, especially in Bulgaria, we are not big on vermouths and Amaros. We're big on wines, but not vermouth.
Yeah.
And then when I move slowly and start traveling and start experience things, being France, Portugal, Italy, everywhere, and things like I travel for 6 years, and I start experience these things, and I'm like, oh man, that's a totally like a new universe. It's not a world, it's a new universe. So unofficially, I'm saying to everyone, it may be start until you're watching this, but I just registered a new account on Instagram, which is called Vermouth Amaro. So
a whole Instagram account dedicated to it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna dedicate the Instagram account and a website, and I'm gonna record my journey through discovering different vermouths and Amaros, and just going through. I just bought new books about vermouth and Amaro to read.
Wow, nice.
It's a totally new universe, Vim.
It's a completely different world, man.
Crazy.
It really is.
I have here Amaros, you see, and stuff, and I have, it's just, I can't wait.
Yeah, Andy, Caribbean Andy, he loves Amaro, Amari, or whatever he calls them when it's multiple. Yeah, so that's his thing. He really loves it, and it's definitely for me a huge blind spot. I don't even own any, to be honest with you. I mean, I have some Cynar stuff, but like I don't have anything crazy.
You have to get at least Montenegro.
Yeah, no, I got to get the Montenegro. Yeah. Is that made in Montenegro? That?
No.
No, okay, just one.
The history behind Montenegro, it's named after the wife of the Italian, I think, king at the time, because she was from Montenegro.
Oh, she was.
That's why the Italian guy named it was medicine in the beginning before it became Amaro.
Most things are, right? Most of these liquors are.
Yeah, and now it's probably one of the most famous Amaros in the world, to be honest.
So, Georgie, you've been around the world. You've been doing a lot of different things. What would you say are some of the biggest cultural differences when it comes to drinking, between some countries, like let's say Bulgaria, and you're in England now, right?
Yeah.
So like, what's some of the biggest drinking differences culturally between the two countries?
If I have to compare England with Bulgaria, it's a massive difference. Like in Bulgaria, the drinking for us, it's occasional. We do it very often, but not to get drunk. Yeah.
Yep.
So when we go for a drink, we go out, we have a drink, but we never just drink. We have snacks on the side.
Yeah.
Could be a nuts, could be a meat, could be anything. So we may drink for 2 hours. Then we have a meal with a wine. Then we drink again. And we kind of are following what's pairing with what. We don't just, I mean, the youngest, they go and get pissed. But people who kind of grow up a little bit, they know. When I came in England first, I realized it's kind of a weird because people just go in the pub or somewhere outside and they just go get smashed.
They just go get smashed.
And I'm like, I had these issues like, guys, people coming from UK and Bulgarian on the bar and like a beer, another beer. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, slow down, man. I mean, I know in UK you pay like, let's put in dollars. So if you pay $5 in UK, let's say 3.50 or 4 or even 5 quid for a pint, in Bulgaria is just a £1. That's the difference. So when they see this price, I'm like, slow down. It's a full bar, never gonna go off. Enjoy, you know what I mean? So that's the biggest difference. For us, drinking, it's a social event. To go and speak with people, have a dinner, have a meal, enjoy the evening. We don't just go to get smashed. So that's the big difference, you know what I mean? But saying that traveling the world, pretty much all the Europe is the same like Bulgaria. People just, they like to enjoy the drink with something on the side. They don't just go out for just drinking.
Yeah, there's always been that kind of like stereotype of English-speaking countries that they like to go get smashed, right? They're bingers. You know, Americans, Australians, the English, like they drink heavy, big, strong, pints and they just get kegs and they really get smashed. While Europe,
I don't think it is.
I don't listen. It's a stereotype. It's not, obviously it's not true, but it's not true too. I mean, I think that especially in the U.S. there is a binging culture in this country.
Yeah.
With younger folks and certain demographics and like certain areas and stuff like that.
I think the problem is the prices, Vino. How much it's one whiskey in, let's say, New York? If you go,
like a glass of whiskey. I mean, depending on what it is, no less than $10.
So $10, normal bar, not like a posh, just a normal bar.
Yeah. You're looking at $10 for a good glass of whiskey.
$10, that it's like because in Bulgaria it's 1 to 2.5, so that'll be 20, let's say 5 level. You can have 5.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. People don't realize that they can have 5 for the price of 1 in America.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same product. So you don't need to rush because you won't finish. It'll just make you sick. Just enjoy it. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, the cocktail culture, the renaissance of the cocktail culture here in the US has definitely changed that thought process a bit. So, people are definitely going out more now to enjoy cocktails and enjoy the company.
Oh, it's changed a lot.
Which is fantastic because, as people like ourselves who we spend a lot of time, creating content for people to learn and appreciate the cocktails. It's nice to see people, take their time to drink cocktails. I mean, I know just with my friends ever since, because I've been in the business for 15 years. But, because I wasn't in front of the camera, my friends just knew that I was in it, but they never really bothered to come to me for anything more than just maybe some advice for wine, like to pair with their meals and stuff.
Yes, but you've been in the business and you know what it is.
Exactly.
The cocktail industry was good back in the 90s, something like that. When the 2000 start, it's gone down, and now it's going up again. It's in the golden age again.
Yeah, so totally, man. And it's like now so many of my friends are like, oh man, I tried this cocktail on YouTube or whatever, or they go to one of your pages now because I always tell them, hey, check this guy, what he made. I send links a lot.
Social media did a crazy turnaround because back in the 90s, we didn't have social media, so it was us. Now everybody's on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere looking cocktails and like, I want to try this, and they get educated without they knowing.
Yeah,
and it's fantastic. I'm loving it. It's just
Georgie, what's your favorite cocktail to make?
Probably it's gonna be. I know it's a very cliche, but
it doesn't matter. Cliche
I don't
or not.
know how to explain to people. I love making a smoked old fashioned.
Smoked old fashioned. Okay.
Yeah, I usually take around 8 to 10 minutes to make one.
Mm-hmm.
And when people came in the bar, I usually ask them, do you drink beer? And if they drink beer, I give them a half a pint free from me.
To hold them off, right?
Yeah.
Very smart,
just
very
to
smart.
have something, and they love it. Like it's always gift to make. You know, I mean, people ask me how you make so much tips, because I give. Okay.
Yep.
I give them a half a pint, a little small bowl with the peanuts. Big deal. It's gonna cost me 3 quid, but they're gonna leave me 10 quid. So I'm gonna make 7. It's it doesn't matter. So I give them and I just walk them through and I speak to them when I make it, and you know why I smoke in the garages and everything and blah blah blah. I like this cocktail because it's giving me the, not because of the making it. I mean, I enjoy making it, but it's more about giving me the chance to have this guy or girl or whoever order in front of me, and I have a chat with them and make friends. So next time when they want to drink something nice, you know what they think? Should we go out? Yeah. Where are we going?
Should we go to this?
I'm going in this bar because this guy, you know what I mean? People go in bars because of the guy behind the bar.
Yeah.
No,
it's so
it's
so important, man. When I go to a bar and the guy behind the bar or the gal has no personality, or they just seem bothered by you, I'm like, bro,
I don't
like,
care how beautiful it is. I want the guy.
No, man. Give me I can go to a rundown bar and have the best time in the world, as long as the bartender is, you know, the kind of guy that I feel like. And listen, I don't have to be best friends with the guy, but if he gives me a good company, a good experience, that's
it's all about. I always say to people, there's three type of clients coming to the bar. One, which it's come to get pissed. So it is what it is. The other one, it's to find something to spend the night with.
Yeah.
And the other one, it's a guy who is just alone or have a problem or something. So if you have 3 of them on the bar, you gotta be 100% with all 3 of them and play the role, because that's what they're expecting from you. So that's why bartending, it's a hard job, because it's not just the physical, but it's the mental thing. If you serve today 50 people, all 50 of them is different. You're mentally exhausted at the end of the night, because you gotta act to everyone and you have to relate to everyone.
It goes back to what we were saying about being on YouTube, right? Like having to be on every time. Now,
but I love it. That's why I love it.
You either have it in you or you don't. You have it in you or you don't.
You love it. You don't do it. That's all simple as that. You gotta love it.
So Georgie, a couple more things before we go. So the first thing is, tell us about your other businesses. I'd love to get people to know what Georgie's doing outside of Just Shake a Stir. I know you say you do web design and stuff like that.
I do. It's not very complicated. I work with WordPress, but I start freelancing in 2015. I decide to
self-taught. Are you self-taught?
Yeah, I'm self-taught.
Okay.
It's not self-taught. Obviously, I look things and read. I mean, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't mean like you're not formally schooled.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No. But I made the big decision, which was hard because obviously 1 kid, mortgage, and everything. But I said I gotta do it. So the only way to succeed is to actually do it. And I start with graphic design. And I work with people from like LA, Austria, Germany.
Cool.
Everywhere around the world. And then I slowly start moving to web design. And finally, I push the photography because I really like it. So that's how it's kind of since 2015, now it's 2021, I kind of build business for graphic, web, and photography.
I mean, a lot of this is, you're talking about a lot of digital marketing, which is so huge right now. I mean, that's all digital marketing. And that's so important.
Yeah, the best things is that I wanted a job which I enjoy, and I've always been creative. So I've been dancer for 15 years. I've been painting, drawing all my life. It's just who I am.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do something which I enjoy, because like the bartending, I've never worked a day in my life because I enjoy so much.
Johnny, that line is so important. I use that line all the time. I tell people, if you're doing what you love, you not work a day in your life.
I start job as a graphic designer and I quit because I can't stay in the office. It's not me. I just don't enjoy. I get paid tons of money and I'm like, I can't. It's not about the money. I'm dying here. So that's why I started this. And with this job, I can go anywhere in the world and I can do graphic design, photography, web design, or bartending.
Listen, George, you're in an enviable position, brother, because a lot of people, especially now with COVID, who have been off of work, like myself, I'm like, man, I would love to just be my own boss, work for myself. I mean, it's a hustle. It's a hustle, but it's a hustle. You do what you got to do, right?
It's hard, but when you pay your taxes, when you're regular, when you do things right, government help, you get help from here, you get some small jobs. Now the business, it's not like in normal situation, but still get business because people still do business. So I still get things to do.
Yeah. But you're always, one thing, I mean, it's obvious that you're a hustler and you're always thinking outside the box and figuring out and thinking of new ways to,
The thing is, when you work for yourself, there's only one person to blame if you fail.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, brother.
So I don't have choice. I don't have choice. If I fail my kids, I fail wife. You know what I mean? So
kids, I tell you what, kids will motivate the crap out of you, boy. Especially, you've got young kids like me, and man, I do anything for that little girl, man. There's not a day I wake up where I don't go, today I gotta make it work.
I don't like this pasta. I'm like, you're gonna eat it because mommy and daddy, it's work the hell for me.
This is the age for that, though. Oh my God, the pickiness.
It's amazing. I love it.
So guys, so for you guys who may have not seen Georgie's show yet, this new setup he has in the back is a brand new bar setup. It is absolutely stunning. You're not going to see it as well through the Zoom because there's the quality. But if you go to his channel, Just Shake or Stir on YouTube, you'll see beautiful transformation. Now, George, are you going to show the actual transformation? I know you talked about putting the recording online.
No, I thought, and then when I break the old bar, it was impossible.
It was too much, right?
It was too much to show people what I did, because I think I really want to do something like how to build home bar, but I want to get a small empty room and just do it.
Do it from scratch.
I just moved things, like the bar was here before. That was the bar. So if I'm staying here, that was the bar. I was staying here.
Yeah, it was small. Yeah, it was
and
really
I was
small.
Like, Christmas cocktails. So I had to move everything. So
he did 25 cocktails from that small little spot, guys.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Now I have all my blenders.
Now you can do 50 cocktails, Georgie. You can do 50 there.
I have like 12 shakers there.
That's awesome.
Everything. So I may do one day. I'm planning to build a bar in my garden. So
wow, that's fun.
Summer is coming. So
so Georgie, one more question. So what is the future for Just Shake or Stir? I mean, you kind of touched on it a bit already, but if you just want to kind of go back over, like, what do you see for the future of the brand? For guys that don't know, Georgie just reached 1,000, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, nobody deserves it more than Georgie. And obviously, hopefully in time you'll be able to monetize and stuff. So what is the goal? What do you want to do? What are some of the plans you have? And what do you hope to do at the end?
I always wanted to be, I'm always going to stay in the industry. So I said to everyone, they ask me when you're going to stop. And I say, when I'm 2 meters underground, probably.
2 meters for you guys in America, I think that's 6 feet, right? Is that 6 feet?
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know. But I don't think I'm ever going to stop. But the thing what I want to do is being behind and on the other side of the bar. Like I start just before everything happened with the world crazy. I start making menus for bars. I start teaching bar stuff. I start working with brands, like creating brand new recipes and things like. So that's what I want, because I'm still in the business. Let's put it this way: I'm still in the trade, but I'm not 100% behind the bar because I'm getting tired. Come on, now.
No, listen, dude.
I'm 46. Okay, I'm 46, so I can't just.
It's tough. Listen, I'm the same. Listen, I was a food and beverage director for so many years, and so now, like, these jobs they don't exist right now here.
That's a 2 feet job. You're staying on 2 feet. So, but that's the future. Just Shake or Stir, it's here to stay. Like my website, it's totally rebranded, giving you proper way of how to make the cocktail. So that's what I want. It's people to trust the brand, to say, hey, this guy or this brand know what it's talking about. So that's all it is. Simple as that.
And that he does, my friends. That he does. So Georgie, tell people where they could find you on social media and the website, whatever you got.
Now, if you see that, Just Shake or Stir. If you Google it, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, website, Reddit, everywhere is the same name.
Okay. So, and how about your podcast?
Shake or Stir. My podcast, it's called Behind the Bottle. You can find it on any big like a major Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, anywhere you can find it. Behind the Bottle, it's basically podcast bringing people behind the bottles and people behind the bars, telling you what is to be behind the label, because all you see, guys, is the label, but you don't see what is behind. So
no, it's true, and there's a lot there. And if people want to come see you and actually get a drink from you, Georgi, where can they find you?
They can find me hopefully from May. We're opening again. It's called the Italian Orchard. It's okay if you're in England, if you're in Preston area, the Italian Orchard, family-run Italian restaurant and brand new cocktail.
All right, guys. So in May, go get your cocktail, your smoky old fashioned.
I'll make you whatever you want. Just it's a freestyle.
All right, good. And George is a good guy, and I'm sure he'll make you feel right at home and very welcome. So George, man, listen, thanks a lot again for being on the show, man. Like I said, you're one of the class. You're one of the class acts in this niche, man. You've always been a gentleman, and I really do appreciate that. I think it comes across on the camera too, and I'm sure the bar experience with you, man, is probably hella pleasant. So if I'm ever in England, I will come check you out, brother.
If you're not, I'll come to you. Don't
all right, hey, listen, whatever, bro. We meet halfway in the middle.
New York is on my list.
We can meet in the middle of the ocean, right?
Oh yeah, we could do that.
You did cruise ships, right? There you go. You did cruise ships.
Let's do cruise ship. Just go and enjoy.
Oh man, Georgi, again, listen, brother. Thanks so much, guys. So listen, folks. So again, go visit Georgi on all of his social medias, his website, and most importantly on Instagram, on YouTube. Make sure you share his content with people. He's a great guy. Yeah. And like I always say, folks, when life gives you lemons,
make a lots of cocktails, guys.
Go. All right, guys. Ciao.
Bye.